Hello, folks. Happy Monday. Hope you've had a fantastic early start to your week, and hope you had a fantastic weekend as well. We just got through Halloween, so I know a lot of people probably had a lot of fun with their family and friends. So it is good to see you guys once again this Monday evening. Let me give a brief intro for those of you who don't know who I am. Hey there, my name is Kyle Kurzhal. I am your go-to guy for AI and automations to help you get back your time and grow your business. This session is all about being able to give back to folks who have questions about AI and automations for their business. This is for anybody ranging from somebody who's brand new to somebody who's maybe been in business for a while and who is trying to figure out how to optimize their processes, maybe free up a lot of their time so that they can grow day to day. I know this is especially tough for small business owners. There's all sorts of challenges that come with starting a new business and then running that business and making sure you have happy clients and happy employees and all of these things. So this is your time to come and ask questions. Again, it can be a very simple question. It can be a very complex question. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of these sessions. I'm really, really excited to be here again with you guys because what we do is, although we do field these questions for folks, oftentimes I have situations where there aren't a lot of immediately available questions. And so what we do is we go over certain topics. We cover certain tools or technologies or news that is coming out around AI. And then we talk through like what are the practical applications for us as small business owners, as entrepreneurs, as investors. So today's going to be kind of special because we're going to go over a few different things, but then towards the end there, one of the last things we're really going to focus on is this new tool that Google just announced. It's through their Google Labs program called, I think it's Pomeli. So the gist of this is that it's going to help you with your marketing and create some nicer, I think it creates like some nicer looking marketing materials, which is kind of cool. I myself am not like a super fantastic designer. I can kind of get a sense of, oh yeah, that looks good or that doesn't, but having to build something from scratch is not really my forte. I'm more of a, build it from scratch, integrate software tools kind of guy. So for someone like me, I know this is incredibly helpful, and this is probably going to be really helpful for a lot of you folks who are maybe not exactly like me, but maybe you are better suited to doing other things like sales or whatever it is. So I'm excited to get into our tool today and some of the other news that we have. And then the other thing that is really exciting to me is that we are doing yet another week of giveaways for Alex Hormozi's new book, $100 Million Money Models. Today, we are giving away up to 7 copies. Now, you do have to cover the shipping for this. So I'm not going to cover the shipping, but I've covered the cost of the book. So that's like $30 off this book. And I think this is going to be really, really helpful to a lot of folks, especially if you're just kind of getting started in business, or maybe if you've even been around for a while and you're trying to figure out ways to stack value in your business to help it grow the most and also to just give your customers more and more value. So this is fantastic. I've already kind of started to go through it. I need to finish it. But it's been really great so far. I love Alex Hormozi stuff, so I am excited to share that with you guys as well. The way you're going to get this giveaway is by filling out a form, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leverage an AI tool that I have built out to share these links in the chat. So we're going to give this a try right now. I've tested it before. One of them may work, one of them may not work. We'll see how it goes. This is just the nature of the business, right? You test it and you see what works and then you fix it, right? So let's go ahead and let me tell my AI to do this on the fly. And so you guys don't see that I'm not lying to you. I'm going to share my screen so you can actually see this thing. So I've got this hooked up to Claude here, and I'm just going to say, okay, hey, I want you to share the giveaway link inside of the chat on YouTube and Facebook. All right, so there we go. Boom. It should go put this in both YouTube. Facebook may take a second more just because it is it's having to use the browser for these things. Okay, there we go. We're going to let that go. So we'll see how this goes for Facebook. I think it'll do it for YouTube just fine. While it's doing that, let me see if there's anything else that we need to cover here. There's a few other opportunities that you guys are going to have to win, to get a copy of the book if you don't win tonight. But I'm just going to say that if you want to win a copy, and if you know somebody else who wants to win a copy, then you should go get your friend and bring them here so that way they can also get an opportunity. If we had a ton of people in that form, there's a place for them to say, hey, you know, was brought by this person, and we will guarantee that both of you guys get a copy. So that increases your chances. Anyways, I'm super pumped. Let's see what it says here. So it says, I see there's an authentication issue. Oh no, I just tested this and it worked. So, okay, that didn't work. Let me see if we've got the YouTube or the Facebook. Did it post in Facebook or did it just stop? I think it just kind of failed here. So that's unfortunate. That's okay. This is why we have backups on hand. So we're not going to let this be a showstopper. We're going to go ahead and share the link here. Give me just a second. I'm going to do this manually. So here is our giveaway link in YouTube. And then on Facebook, there's the giveaway link. It's there in the comment or the chat, whatever you want to call it. All right. Now, I think that does it for the main content, or for the stuff that's coming up. If you guys have questions as we're going through this, or you just have questions in general about AI, automation, whatever, I want you to drop those either in the chat, wherever you're at. I'm doing, I think, a better job at being able to check the chat here and there. Or I know in some cases the chat may limit how many characters you can put in. Or you have the option to go submit to a form that I actually have linked inside of the chat on both YouTube and Facebook. So if you need something a little bit bigger, you can go ahead and put that in there, and I will also check the form output or input to make sure that we get your questions answered. So lots of ways for you guys to ask questions, for you guys to get feedback from me. I think that's enough intro. This was a little lengthy. I need to figure out how to shorten it, but that's okay. So let's get to our stuff for the evening to kick us off. And I'm also going to check our chat here real quick. I'm going to check our questions before we get into... Okay, I'm not seeing anything here, so I think we're good to go. Let's do it. Okay, so just a few pieces of news I think are worth covering. And for some folks, maybe some of you who aren't like really techie, this maybe doesn't mean a huge amount to you directly, but if you're ever doing anything around like building out software, this is going to be kind of important for you to just kind of keep in the back of your mind here. So OpenAI on October 30th announced this tool called Aardvark, okay? And essentially, it is OpenAI's agentic security researcher. So the point of this is essentially that whenever you're building out software, oftentimes you have to think about potential security concerns because you don't want somebody to be able to break into your system and then leak your user data to the world, right? Some people will do this, like black hat hackers, where they'll come in, they'll take your data, they'll sell it off. Some people are just malicious and they just do it because they think it's fun. So as a software engineer, something I'm always kind of worried about is the thing I'm building, could it be compromised in some way? And so this is a new tool that is intended to be able to go in and then scan your code base up front, and then run it, like check a few things manually, like almost like a real person would go in and do a security check and test things. We have already had for a while now, like security scanners that it'll do a lot of stuff, but it won't like try to formulate, like look through your code and then formulate a plan on how it could potentially break things and then do it more interactively and things like this. So this is really fascinating to me. And I don't think I want to go too much deeper on this, because for a lot of folks, the tech stuff I think will go over people's heads and it won't be as useful. But this is really, really neat, because you can think of this as just another type of almost like a virtual employee. And that's kind of how I really think about these AI agents as really like AI employees. And that's how we would, I think, as business owners and investors should be thinking about how to leverage AI. You think about like particular tasks or set a smaller set of your processes that you need automated. And then you offload this to an AI employee. So this would be an AI employee that would be able to actually run security checks on your software before it ever gets deployed out into production. So this is really cool. You can go check out this article if you want to know more about it by going to openai.com. And I think it's like under the news section. It's like openai.com/news, and you can see all of their news announcements here. Okay. So let's move on to our next topic. And well, before I do, again, I got to pace myself here. Let's see. Do we have any questions, any comments in our chat here? I'm not seeing any. All right. Let me check in our little community here. No, we're good. Okay. So let's swap over to our next small topic, and then this will be the last one before we get into the main star of the show tonight. So this is one from Google. They say introducing vibe coding in Google AI Studio. So if you don't know what vibe coding is, you are missing out here. Basically, it's a way for you to just describe what kind of like software that you want to build from scratch. You could also be doing it with like software that has already been built if you've got the code. But you essentially describe in English language what it is that you want, and then the AI goes and it builds it for you. You review it, you give it some feedback on, hey, this thing isn't working or this thing is working, and so on and so forth. And I will be honest with you, as a software engineer, I gotta say I love vibe coding. And the reason I love vibe coding is because I really love getting projects like spun up from scratch like this, because it is so much faster than what I could write from scratch. I can give it, a list of features. Like I can kind of just do the overall planning and so on and so forth, and then hand it off to these things. And then they just build it for me, and they build it so fast. I can just leave it in the background, go do something else, and I can come back and say, okay, this is working, this isn't. And honestly, it just speeds up my workflow so much. And I've been playing with this a lot more lately. I've done some stuff in the past with it, but it's getting better and better now. And more lately, I've started to really kind of use it to spin up certain things that I think are better for custom use cases. Some examples would include like, without going into too much detail, like doing some stock analysis. One other situation where like I'm helping a business owner and I'm taking like their sales and their inventory information, and I need to create some like custom dashboards with some metrics that I'm going to track, and I want to see it over time and all of this stuff. And it is super nice. Like some of the stuff I'm doing there, it needs to be a little custom, so it isn't easily doable in certain software like Excel or certain other kind of like metric tracking type software. So anyways, I am loving the vibe coding. I think it's fantastic. It helps me, since I've got the software engineering background, that I can go through and I can review the code too. But it definitely is helpful. So Google has announced their vibe coding in Google AI Studio. And I haven't messed with this much, so I think maybe I should come back and do this maybe another week to kind of show what this would look like. But they're saying that they have been building a better foundation for AI Studio. They launched a new vibe coding experience. Redesigned experience means you take you from prompt to AI app in minutes. You don't have to juggle with API keys figuring out how to tie models together. That's cool. So go from a single prompt to an AI-powered app. Okay, AI-powered apps let you build incredible things, generate videos, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now you can describe the multimodal app of your dreams. Okay. So it sounds like this is going to be able to handle like pictures and things like that a little bit better, which is really useful because ideally you're not just going to like give it a bunch of text. You're going to give it maybe some images and things like that from maybe even a drawing that you did on a whiteboard. And it kind of helps you figures out from that what it should look like. Maybe you give it like some websites as example designs, things like that. Find inspiration. Sometimes a spark of inspiration is all you need. Okay, they've revamped the app gallery, so you can use that as inspiration. That's cool. Let's see here. Make changes to your app in a more natural way. Okay, refining your app should be as easy as pointing to what you want to change. Our new annotation mode makes this possible. Instead of painstakingly describing a change or digging through code, you can now simply highlight a part that you want to modify. That is fantastic. This is the big thing that's missing in most of these vibe coding scenarios. Even if you can give these things access to the browser to see what came out of it, but it doesn't always dial in on the spot you want. So to be able to just like say, hey, this area right here, this one, and then say, make these changes to this thing. That is really, really fantastic. Okay. We made it possible to add your own API keys. If you exhaust the quota, that's cool. Okay. Okay. I think that's it for this. So this is really cool. I think this is going to be worth playing with. We'll have to check it out maybe next week and see how the experience is. All right. Now let's get, well, again, I told you I was trying to do better, and I try to rush through these things too much. Okay, let me check our chat here to see if we've got any more questions. And if you do have questions, again, they don't have to be related to what we're covering today. If you just got questions in general, I want to make sure this time is valuable for you folks. So please bring those questions, drop your questions in the chat, or drop them in the form that I have linked in Facebook and YouTube. It's in the chat, it's towards the top there. So let me check our form submissions, make sure we don't have anything missing there. Okay, we don't have anything missing there. So let's get on to our last item here for the day. And we're going to see if maybe we can play with this a little bit too, because I think this will be kind of interesting. And I'm going to be learning this on the fly with you guys. I haven't done anything with this yet. So it says create on-brand marketing content for your business with Pomeli. Okay, it's a new AI experiment from Google Labs that helps small to medium-sized business easily generate scalable on-brand social media campaigns. Ooh, a whole campaign. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to pause our little audio here in the background. And let's see if I should be able to share my audio. So we're going to pause that. We are going to enable our left screen here. Let's see. Okay. Now that seems pretty exciting. Let's re-enable our background music here. Okay. That is cool. So let's see what else we can gather from this article. And then I think we go in and we play with this. So creating impactful on-brand content can require significant investment in time, budget, blah, 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 for small to medium-sized businesses. This can be an obstacle. Okay, it comes in. It's designed to make scale, build your business DNA into your website. Okay, so you can put that in. Figures out what your brand style looks like. That's really nice. Okay. Generate tailored campaign ideas. Okay. That's cool. Edit, create high quality branded. Okay. And that's the gist of it. Okay. So this is really, really neat. Let me see. Okay. Here we go. So to get access to it, we're going to go to labs.google.com and then /Pomelli, Pomelli. Okay. So that takes us here. And I guess we hit let's get started. Okay, so enter your website. We'll analyze your brand and business. Okay. Unfortunately for you guys, you aren't going to see my website is not as good as it should be. And that's funny coming from the tech guy. So we're going to do our best. We'll probably have to modify it. Let's just try it. Let's do www.narrowgator.com. Okay. Yep. Okay, it's saying 5 minutes left, so it's gathering our colors, studying our brand values, determining a visual aesthetic. Okay. Fonts, pulling images, summarizing your business. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, those colors don't look too bad. So I could come in here and I could like change these things. I can mess with my fonts here. Okay, this is accurate actually. That is the font that I'm using on my website. Let's see here. Unlock your potential, efficiency, systemization, and expertise are our brand values. Brand aesthetic, sophisticated, professional, traditional, authoritative, aspirational. Tone of voice, professional, authoritative, solution-oriented, and empowering. Oh, good. Okay. Technology solutions provider helps businesses get back time and scale operations through implementation of AI employees, supporting automation, traditional automation, specialized in evaluating business systems, implementing force multipliers, and offering custom solutions. Okay. That looks pretty good. So there we go. Boom. Now, let's see here. What kind of campaign do I want to create? Let's say, like one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm actually running ads around our services for helping people set up like AI phone receptionists. So let's try this. So let's say I'm offering services around setting up AI phone receptionists for businesses. They answer the phone 24/7. What else? Integrate with CRMs. Trying to remember like off the top of my head all the things. So we integrate with CRMs, pay on demand, don't miss calls, can scale to hundreds of call-ins, let's say simultaneous colons. Let's say collect caller data and integrate with CRMs. Let's just say this. Okay. We offer done for you services and let's say DIY, done with you, and done for you services. I probably could add a little bit more, but I don't want to spend too much time on our prompts, so that way we can actually see what's going on here. So it's going to generate ideas for us. I'll be very curious if it can pull in a bunch of different images that were not on the website, because you can kind of see down here, it did pull this down and made those suggestions. Okay. Interesting. So AI implementation tailored for your team. Let me try to zoom in on this so it's a little easier for you guys to see too. Okay. So AI implementation tailored for your team, demonstrated the versatility and custom solutions that we offer, specifically different service tiers for AI implementation. 4 ways that AI, okay, highlight the specific measurable efficiency gains. I like that a lot because that's very outcome driven. 0 missed calls, 0 lost leads. That's also very outcome driven. So addressing your anxiety, losing leads. Yeah, these are both pretty good. I like this one though. Let's go with this. So let's kind of see what we get here. 2 minutes left on this. And it looks like we can add creatives to this. Okay. So it did pull this specifically from my website. Because you can see like, okay, the colors are this. This is these are the images that I've got. Not quite what I want, but let's look at what it says. So 0 missed calls, 0 missed leads, lost leads, 24/7 receptionist. Your human team needs to sleep. Missed calls happen after hours on weekends. Okay. Every missed call is lost revenue. Stop letting potential clients. Okay. Always on 24/7 coverage, instant CRM, unlimited call capacity. Ooh, man, these are good. These are really, really good. Okay, so we can do like story. Okay, so we can change our sizing here. So like a typical feed, a story post, or a square header and description. We can put our call to action in there, and then we can put, I guess, our images. So we could come in here and we could edit this a little bit more. Like I've got let me see. I do have like another image, but it really is kind of built for an ad. So I don't really want to use that here, but this is neat because this gives you a good sense of like, oh, okay. And I can duplicate this. I can turn this into a square. Neat. So that's going to take a minute. So while it does that, let's look at our other options here. So duplicate, download. Okay. I do really like this. This is really, really nice. I mean, that was fast, guys. I didn't have to sit here. I mean, if you've done stuff like this and you've used like Canva or whatever it is, and you've come in and had to like set up the text and the formatting, and you got to do like getting the images and all this stuff. This was pretty nice. This was pretty darn nice. I wonder if there's like a way for us to, let's see here, if we go into our business DNA. Okay, so we can change our logo, we can change our colors, our name. What would be really nice is if there was a way for me to pull a bunch of different types of images, because let's say like, and you know what? There might actually be a way. So maybe we try this. But here's like an example. So there's a unsplash think it's unsplash.com. Yeah, so this is a really good example of a website where you can get like content, like photos, videos, like B-roll, anything like that for your business. A lot of these are also free. They're free to use. You can sign up for like a membership and then get a ton of this stuff, which is, I think, very worth it. I have really mostly stuck to the free stuff for now, but this will probably be something I add on in the near future. So it would be really cool if I could like include this website, maybe like, let's say nature. Yeah, see, I wonder, okay, let's try this. This is a neat experiment. So let's say we do like nature, and we come in here and we say campaigns. Can I like swap out my website, reset business DNA? Let's see here, business DNA. Okay, it's got all that. I'd like to see if we can, let me try resetting our business DNA. Let's delete all. Let's go here. Let's go here, and then let's say, okay, it's gonna hopefully grab nature website data. And this might cause some conflicts. So this is not actually guaranteed to work. But again, this is why we experiment, right? We try something out and we see if it works or if it doesn't. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can grab, if I can come in here, upload my logo, and have it reference like all of these images on this. Now, there could have been an alternative here, which is maybe I could have created a page on my website, which is specifically set up to only display the various kinds of images that I might want. That's kind of a maybe hacky way to work around it, but that could work. So if you have a bunch of imagery that you want to kind of tweak this around, you might be able to do that. You might be able to put them in a page and then give it access so that way it can pull that from that page. It's really churning through. It's probably, it says it's 4 minutes left. So it's probably because this thing is massive. And technically it goes on and on. Like you can keep scrolling and it keeps loading in more. I may have just given it an unending task. I'm putting it through its paces. Okay. So while this is kind of churning along, let's take a look and see if we've got any comments, any questions in our chat here on YouTube or Facebook. Okay, I'm not seeing anything here from you guys. What do you guys think? Is this neat or what? Oh, okay. Here we go. So, it's way zoomed in. Hold on, it's because I zoomed in. There we go. Okay, so Unsplash. Let's see if I can like, here we go. Images. Yeah, it's got a bunch of nature images. Look at that. So let me say I upload. Give me a second. There's some things work-wise. I just got to make sure I'm not putting on the public internet. Give me a second here, guys. Let me look at the Narrow Gator logo. Okay, let's upload that. Okay. All right, so we got our logo here. Let's apply that. And so we've got all these other colors. We could probably do that. Tagline. I forget what I said, what our tagline was here. Internet source for visuals, powered by we'll say like AI employees and automation for everyone. Something like that. I could come in here and I could just like enhance legal protection. Let's delete that. Higher quality visuals. Say AI employees, small business, or I guess these would be like values. Let's see here. Accessibility, AI accessibility for everyone. High quality customer service, augmentation, not replacement. Okay. So we'll leave some of this stuff, and then we'll say like narrow gator helps provide services to small business, to business owners and investors, so that they can get back time and grow their business. So we'll just simplify that. I liked what it said earlier, but I'm already forgetting what it was. Business name. Okay, we got to replace that. Narrow gator. Boom. And it doesn't look like I can replace the link, but that's okay. We're just going to use that as the reference. And then I think I had like Playfair. Fair. So it was like Playfair. Maybe it was like Playfair display. Yeah. Let's do Playfair. Okay. That looks good. Let's just, let's go ahead and give it a spin and see if this experiment actually works. Oh, okay. So we need to give it a campaign. We are offering, we help people set up AI phone receptionists, that answer calls 24/7, collect data and integrate with CRMs, don't miss calls, and scales with hundreds of simultaneous inbound calls. Okay, so, oh yeah, we offer DIY, done with you, and done for you services. So let's have it generate our ideas, and then we'll see if it actually was able to blend these nature pictures with some of these concepts from my business. I have a feeling it probably will work. But again, we got to test it. While that's running, let's see. Anybody got any comments for us? Anything interesting that they want to ask about AI, automation, anything like that? Anything that it could be a basic question, something that you want to just know a little bit more about. Whatever it is, I'm game. All right. So okay, here we go. From call to CRM instantly, demonstrating how AI integrates with your CRM, your business running without you, aspirational feeling of regaining personal time and freedom, never miss another lead, highlighting the core utility. Yeah. Let's see here. I like this one. All right. Hopefully this will work. This will be really good, I think, also for folks. You know, I know some folks will use like virtual assistants and things like that. And so this would be a good way to leverage your virtual assistants to help you get a little bit more content out there. And I think the thing here is like, you never have to have perfect content. You know, like it's really a volume game and making sure you're providing value for folks. So this could be a really good way to do that. You just get extra stuff out there, right? In different formats. And because it's so quick. All right. So this is interesting. So it pulled this image, reclaim your earnings or your evenings and weekends. AI handles, let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more there. Okay. Stop missing out. Your business runs without you. Okay. That's pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about the white on the white, but same thing here. This is, this would be a design thing I would be probably trying to check out. Maybe you could you might have to do a few things. We could upload. Okay. So this is another thing. This is something I missed earlier. Looks like you can select from these source images that you uploaded, but you can also continue to upload images. So you could come in here and you could add even more, which is really nice. Background edits. Okay, describe the background that you want the image to have. So I'm curious about what that is. But you'll notice there's this image here too. Never miss a lead call again. I wonder if that's being pulled from Unsplash. Oh, and how did I miss this function? It was because I was hitting now how do I go back? Interesting. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, I was hitting this thing the whole time. And I was like, how do you do edits? Okay, so we come in here. We can actually click on the image itself. And it looks like you can change things. And then you have a version history up here, which is super cool. So we can change our image. Ooh, okay. Ooh, and it can generate images too. That's nice. Okay, so we could give it a description of different images. And let's have it generate another one. Will it give us a bunch of them that we can choose from? Yes, it does. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so we could do this kind of stuff. You could write a prompt to generate an image. If you don't want to generate an image this way, or if you're unsure about how to write the prompt, here's what I would say. You can go leverage a tool like ChatGPT or Claude and tell it kind of what you're wanting, and then have it generate the image prompt for you. And then you can take that and you can run it in here and see what comes out of it. The other thing you could try, I'm not sure, I would assume that they're using their this tool they call Nano Banana. If they're not using it here, I'm assuming it because this is Google. If they're not using Nano Banana, you could also go use Nano Banana if you want much better images. So it might just be the prompt. I'm not sure. This doesn't look the best, but it's not the worst thing. So we could do that. We could upload more images. Let's choose that one. Okay, so it's going to update that. And then I guess while it's doing that, I can go back and forth and I can look at my version history, which is really cool. Okay, we can open up our header. Ooh, so we can change our header here, but then we can also say emphasize the pain of missing. Well, never miss a call again. That's pretty good. Okay, color. Let's pick a color. I wish I had a color picker. Okay, so I can choose these things. I don't have a color picker here. What if I choose black? What kind of color is that gonna... I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what I'm changing here. Oh, I'm changing the color of the header. That's what I'm doing. So if we put black on there. Okay, there we go. So we're doing that. Okay, we can change the color here. Let's do black again. And if you know, what you could do is you could go to like a color picker. So if you don't like these colors, white's pretty good. You could go to like a color picker. And you can mess with things like this. There's websites where you can do these things. And then you can get the hex value here. And you could put that value into here. So that's how you could customize those colors a little bit better. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, and then we can generate a call to action. That's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. I would be... Okay, interesting. So it generated the call to action and then it kind of like regenerated this whole thing a little bit. But I kind of prefer that a little bit better. So let's say we come in here. Oh, we can change the size and height and the font. That's cool. Let's do a black color on this. Okay, and then the call to action, we can change like the color of the text, not the color of the button. So it's kind of figuring out that kind of stuff. Fix layout. Let's see what that does. We got to test each one of these little things to kind of see how they all function together. Okay. Okay. Well, that was kind of cool. So it gave us like a blue button. It's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay. Cool. Let me see. Generate image. If I remember, there's one more thing I want to check out here. Let's go back here. I could have sworn I saw like a... When you go here, background edits, describe the background that you want the image to have. Okay. So maybe that does some like generative type stuff, like generate an image or whatever as well. That's kind of interesting. Let's say like, I think that's probably what it does because we got our little 4 things down here. Let's say a sunny beach in the Bahamas. Is that how you spell Bahamas? Oh well. We'll see if it can figure out what I want. Okay, it's not working. I'm not really sure why. That function, a sunny beach overlooking a beautiful ocean in the Bahamas. Okay, so that is not working. That button may be, their app may be broken here. I'm not entirely sure. So, I mean, it is experimental. Okay, we can toggle on and off these things. Okay, so, it isn't like a crazy sophisticated tool necessarily, but I gotta say, it is pretty nice for what it is. And I think, let's just, again, think about it this way. You're as a small business owner, you're going to be busy. You're going to be so busy trying to find leads, trying to make sales, trying to fulfill your sales. It is a more than a full-time job oftentimes. And social media content is one of those things. It's like super, super important for organic growth in the internet age. So I think given the fact that you can just kind of spend a few minutes and have it like spin up all of these images for you, and then you can like have it. It didn't just do the images. It did the title, the description. It pulled in the images. It can pull it in from your website or whatever other sources. It can do our call to actions on things, and we can keep generating these things. And if you didn't notice, there is no limit, at least none that are specified here. They might have a limit, but I didn't see one. So this would be a good experiment for you guys to try out. See how many you can generate before you get cut off. And if you can just keep going and going and going, look, then you've got massive amounts of content for very little time invested. And, maybe you mix it, maybe you don't use it as your primary content, but maybe you mix it in with what you're doing day to day, and it just supplements and adds volume to what you're trying to do. So I think this is going to be super handy for a lot of people. I may be using this as well. Honestly, I really love the fact that I can kind of guide this thing based on certain like website content. And so if I wanted to, I could really spend a lot of time around certain ideas or things I want, like certain types of maybe blog posts even, or something like that. Maybe it can pull information from that, and it can help create these campaigns from a lot of this information that you have. That would be another fantastic experiment. So I think this is a really, really, really powerful tool. And there's probably things I have not yet thought of that will be really, really good use cases for it. But aside from me just doing this, like, again, if I want to be able to spin up my social media content, like do more volume, there's going to come a point at which I can't do any more of this stuff myself. So if I can create like guidelines or constraints around the type of content that I want, and then I can bring on somebody who can just plug in like a website or something, plug in our website, and then kind of generally say, hey, here's the campaign and things like that. And then they can go in and they can generate it. Maybe they run a few by me to just make sure, hey, is this kind of looking pretty good? They're kind of doing the upfront, like, this one doesn't, maybe this one doesn't look good, or this one doesn't look good, and we want to like modify. They just want to do a few quick clicks to modify the colors on these things or whatever. And then they kind of run it by me for final approval. Like, that would be a really good use case, like a workflow, to be able to implement something like this and not require somebody who has to have a ton of skill. Like, the more skill you have, the better, but you don't have to have massive amounts of like image editing skills to be able to do this. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to cover our tool for the evening. We went in depth on this, and we went a little longer than normal tonight, but I think this was well worth it, and I hope you guys think so too. Now, let's get into the end of our evening, I guess, at least on the public facing live stream. So I promised you guys that I would be doing a giveaway of up to 7 copies of Alex Hormozi's new book, $100 Million Money Models, and I intend to fulfill that promise. So if you have already filled out the form, you are now entered, and you are about to enter into the drawing. So let's go ahead and do this. If you're trying to submit it last minute, you might have a chance here. We are going to do this for up to 7 people. If you don't win a copy tonight and you wanted to win a copy, don't worry. I've got an opportunity for you at the end. Keep in mind, if you do win a copy, so let me explain what's going to happen if you win a copy, okay? If you win a copy, you're going to see the announcement. I was hoping to have my AI be able to put it in our live stream. There's authentication issues, so it's probably not going to happen. But if you win a copy, you are going to get an email. Hopefully the AI will be able to actually send out the email. You're going to get an email saying, hey, you won the copy. Here's the link to it. You go to the link. It's going to discount the full cost of the book except for the shipping cost. So you still have to pay shipping, but you get $30 off of this book. And shipping is probably going to cost you maybe like $5. So you get like a total of like a $35 book for $5, roughly, you know. So I hope you guys are excited about that. I really am enjoying this book. I'm hoping that you guys get some value out of it. So let's go ahead and do our giveaway. Let's go ahead and poll giveaway winners. I'd like to go ahead and do the first 3, please. All right. Check out the giveaway code that I gave you in the information earlier. Uh-oh. Check out the giveaway code that I shared with you earlier. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, we're just going to have to give it. I think it was 7. What was I gotta pull up my link now. I may have entered it into the wrong chat. Giveaway code review. I think I entered it into, I have too many, I've got a bunch of chats, and I probably, when I hit that audio button, didn't do this right. Okay. 7. Just 7. All right, guys. Oh, man. We don't have any giveaway entries. I'm going to check just to make sure, to see if maybe we just have an error somewhere. Let's see here. Let's go look at the forms. I'm in the early phase of testing a lot of these AI, because I'm trying to automate. This is something we've been doing in the AI Employee Club, is automating the giveaway portion to make sure that it's a smooth process. Okay. So let me go to my giveaway entries. Okay. No, it is accurate, guys. We have no giveaway entries for tonight, which means that this is going to have to carry over to next week for our giveaway entry. We're going to bump it up from 7 to 8 next week. So next week, we're going to meet same time, unless some kind of issue arises and I'm not able to do our live stream. We will do 8 copies that we give away next week. So if you got here late or you forgot to enter into the forum, don't worry. You can come next week. You can enter in the forum. You can go bring your friends in. You'll have more opportunities for these. I'm doing these giveaways for the next couple weeks. At some point, I'm going to have to cut it off though. So there is a limit. There is a limit to these giveaways. Now, let's say you really, really wanted a copy tonight and you did not get a copy tonight because you forgot to maybe enter into our giveaway form. That is not a problem because I have a guaranteed copy for you if you join our AI employee club. So let me switch over to our pretty little view here. So I've got the QR code up on the screen. You can scan that. Or if you prefer, you can go ahead and click the link here inside of YouTube and Facebook. That will take you to the AI Employee Club, which is essentially our online private community where you can come in, you get extended live Q&As. So we take this session in just a minute. After I cut this off, I'm going to go in the back end in the live Q&A on the AI Employee Club, and we're going to continue. If there's more questions, you get to be a little bit more face-to-face with me. Like the system is set up so that way I can bring people to the front. We can actually like talk. If you've got a specific problem, we can work through it. If folks in that community don't have anything they want to talk about, what we do is we cover certain builds of things that are going to be useful. So like we've been building out all the pieces to the AI giveaway, which have been working. We just run into some issues here and there. So we've been building that out in N8N. And so you come in and you can get access to learn about all of those things. You get access to any like community resources. You also get access to courses that I have put together over time. Like we did our 1-day AI receptionist challenge a couple months back. That is actually a standalone course that I sell, which I can share in the chat there in just a minute. But that course is also included in your membership in the AI Employee Club. So there's more of this stuff that I'm building out over time. I'm probably going to like bundle all this stuff together for the giveaway bot at some point and actually make that available inside of the community. So these are the types of things that you're going to get access to when you jump in. You can ask questions in our chat. You're going to be able to interface with me a little bit more directly. So those are the benefits of the AI Employee Club. On top of that, if you join the AI Employee Club, the next 150 people who join are going to get a copy of Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Money Models, and I'm going to include the shipping on that. So I'm going to pay the shipping and make sure that you get that book sent directly to you at no extra cost to you. So if that sounds like something that would be beneficial to you, if you want to learn more about AI, you want to be able to interface with me, ask me more questions throughout the week, those kinds of things, then that's going to be the place for you. Now, if that is not interesting to you at all, and maybe you just enjoyed this live session that's free on the internet, you can sign up to get reminders for our weekly Q&As. I have that QR code there, but I can also share the link with you guys here. Let me grab this for you guys so that way it's really easy for you to go to that form. So if you want to get those email reminders, we try to get those sent out about a day before. Sometimes things come up and it ends up happening like the day of, but usually you get like a 24-hour notice and then you get like a 10-minute notice. So you can sign up there to get those reminders. And then for the folks who just maybe want the standalone course for that I mentioned before to learn about how to set up an AI phone receptionist from scratch, we did this again in 1 day. We actually did it with Rebecca and Reagan, and they had no prior experience doing this stuff. So we set up a whole phone system from scratch with multiple AI phone receptionists behind it. in under 6 hours. And so this is something that you can totally do too, if you're willing to learn. So if that's something that is of interest to you, then let me post this link here for you guys, and you can sign up anytime. All right, I think that's going to be it for the evening, guys. I hope you really enjoyed going over these tools together. I really think this is a fantastic tool that Google just put out. I'm going to have to play with this more because my time is sparse and it's getting tighter and tighter. And so anything I can do to help provide more value to the folks who are following me on social media, and also kind of tell them a little bit more about what I'm doing, the better. So I think we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys for being here. As always, it was a pleasure to hang out with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys the next time. All right. Signing off and heading over to our AI Employee Club. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.